Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Hobart begins now.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us this Christmas Eve. Leading our bulletin, stakeholders remain split tonight on the state government's business case for an AFL Stadium at Macquarie Point. Business groups have lauded it as a no-brainer, while the AMA says the money would be better spent elsewhere.
The pitch is in. Jeremy Rockcliffe wants $240 million from the federal government to make his stadium dream a reality.
I think it's fair that we should get a range of people who are investing in it.
Tasmania's Small Business Council in full support.
It'll be boon to the industry and the tourism game. It will help us focus our mind on some of our transport infrastructure.
An entertainment hub will bring new opportunities, according to the performing arts community.
You're going to get your big concerts happening, you're going to get your big arena spectaculars happening, and of course you're going to get football, which brings people into the state.
The business case does outline a cost-benefit ratio of 0.5. Every dollar spent estimated to return 50 cents of value, meaning it has a net benefit of negative $306 million. Many argue the money would be better spent in health and housing.
Can we have a few wards underneath the stadium grandstands there? Can we have some housing for our mentally ill patients who desperately need to go somewhere after they've been admitted to hospital?
The construction sector says workforce development is needed to build it.
Scheduling this project after the completion date of Bridgewater Bridge is the right thing to do. It provides continuity in the pipeline so that businesses can make those long-term investments in their workforce.
The state government has maintained that prior plans for the 2.7 hectare site can coexist. A reconciliation park slated for the site still on the drawing board, so too the Antarctic precinct. Vietnam veterans have written to the Premier opposing its proximity to the cenotaph. RSL Tasmania is yet to take a position. To fund or not to fund? That's the question facing the federal government and Anthony Albanese, and the political fallout either way is enormous. Funding it undermines Tasmanian Labor, who've campaigned relentlessly against a stadium. Not doing so spoils the party for the state government, who've tied the proposal to a Tasmanian AFL team and admitted there's no plan B. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
Meanwhile, the state government has averted more strike action, reaching several bargaining deals with public sector unions. Dental officers, allied health workers and ministerial drivers are among those who have agreed to offers. The Premier says the deals recognise the increased cost of living. Radiation therapists and teachers are among those yet to reach a deal, while paramedics were presented with a new deal yesterday. Tasmanians have been out in force this Christmas Eve, completing the final touches of their holiday shopping. Many families preparing for a festive feast with fresh seafood and meat at the top of their list. One of our Christmas correspondents, McKenna Bailey, is in the festive spirit, tracking the last-minute rush.
'Twas the night before Christmas. Santa is on his way. He'll be flying to Tasmania to come and say g'day. Merry locals are shopping up a storm, spreading the festive cheer, on the hunt at Dan Murphy's for some Christmas beer.
A bit of beautiful Tasmanian's finest Clover Hill, sparkling. A bit of Queensland's finest beer and some espresso martinis.
Lovely. And how will you be celebrating Christmas?
Wobbly. That's pretty much the way I would describe it.
Stocking up at Launceston's Kiama Seafoods, with happy customers all in jolly moods.
Just bought a couple of crays, 3 dozen oysters and some prawns, and looking for a good day.
Any type of seafood's just delicious, just because it's so fresh and from our Tassie seas, it's beautiful.
Hot demand crayfish, definitely. Oysters have been really, really big this year. We're sitting in a pretty good position.
Long lines for quality seafood also in Hobart. Friendly fishers opening their doors with an open heart.
Really busy at the moment because it's Christmas time. I know that we sold like 80 cray orders total, which is a lot. The crays are going quick as well. They're probably one of the top sellers.
So you've sold every oyster you've...
Just about, yeah. That we've got here. You had 500, 600 dozen.
For butchers, it's the busiest time of year, with the big day nearly here.
Oh, we've been absolutely flat out. We've had the shop for 19 years and this is our busiest Christmas yet. But it's absolutely fabulous to see that people are shopping local.
Produce flying off the shelf at St George's Square Quality Meats, pairing perfectly with some Christmas beats.
This year's for me and you, so happy Christmas.
May your day with family be happy and bright. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. McKenna Bailey, 7 Tasmania News.
And the waterfront festivities at the Hobart Port have begun ahead of the annual yacht races. The Willie Smith's Launceston to Hobart Race Festival opened today and will be pouring their tasty Tasmanian cider over the next week as yachts arrive.
So we've got a range of local performers here throughout. So we've opened today here on Christmas Eve through till the 2nd of January, and we've got great local music. The
Launceston to Hobart race begins on Tuesday. The iconic Sydney Hobart Yacht Race will be broadcast live with the help of cutting-edge technology. Hype TV is employing its largest crew for the event yet, with 13 local producers, editors, camera operators and technical support specialists working to cover all angles.
We'll have drones, camera boats following the yachts from Tasman Island as they come across the finish line, and we'll be providing live updates around the clock.
The race takes place from next Tuesday with yachting expert Peter Shipway and sporting commentators Gordon Bray and Peter G preparing to take to the stage for Hype TV. A certain jolly man in red was spotted in Hobart this afternoon, bringing Christmas cheer a day early. Santa and his elves swapping out their sleigh for bicycles in a group ride down Mount Wellington.
It was a picturesque scene from the top of Hobart's most popular hotspot, and yet the view wasn't the main attraction. Santa coming to town a little earlier than anticipated.
Merry Christmas! I've selected my best elves just to help me do the Hobart run, but the rest of them are back in the North Pole, working extremely hard for all the good boys and girls.
The elves and Santa decided that we wanted to get to the top of the mountain, ride down the mountain and hand out gifts along the way.
Kunanyi Mount Wellington's 8-degree chill, feeling like a summer's day back in the North Pole.
It's maybe not quite as cold, a little bit less white stuff, but it's it feels like home actually.
The elves excited to showcase another hard year's work.
We've got a few toys for some dinosaurs, some teddies.
We're going around handing out lollipops and making a few stops along the way for ourselves as well as a bit of a treat for working overtime for the last month.
Santa also mingling with children who are usually fast asleep whenever he stops by.
That was the last thing we'd expect yet to see here, but that was fantastic.
The toys delivered today aren't even a fraction of the presents being loaded into Santa's sleigh as we speak.
Pressure's on Santa, because you've taken a rest day on a very risky day.
But Santa assures us he is a professional and will have no problems making the rounds in time for Christmas morning. Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
Good evening. Mostly sunny conditions across the state today, apart from some light showers about the west coast. Launceston a top of 24, 23 in Devonport and a high of 22 across Hobart and Burnie. 25 was the state's top across St Helens and Friendly Beaches. Lowhead and Flinders Island 19 and 17 in Strawn. Low-level cloud has been seen banking up onto the state's west coast with partly cloudy skies elsewhere. Looking further out, and clear skies are seen for most southern areas of the mainland. Tomorrow, a cold front approaches Tasmania slowly from the west, while tropical lows sit over the Northern Territory and WA. West to northwesterly winds tomorrow, 5 to 15 knots, reaching 30 knots about the far south. Swells up to 4 metres in the west and south and below 1 metre in the north. A strong wind warning is current for the southeast coast and southwest coast. On to tomorrow's forecast now for your Christmas Day. Hobart and Ooze, partly cloudy. Richmond 28. In the north, 26 and sunny in Launceston. Cloud clearing in Devonport. Deloraine 24. Burnie and Strawn tomorrow 21. Sunny in Curry. St Helens and Swansea 25 and sunny, and 22 in Whitemark. The UV forecast is extreme 12s across the state. Looking ahead to Monday now, partly cloudy with hot temperatures in the north of the state. Tuesday hot and mostly sunny, and Wednesday hot with showers extending statewide with possible thunderstorms. Capital cities 30 and sunny in Perth tomorrow. Sydney partly cloudy and 28 in Alice Springs. And currently Hobart 20 and partly cloudy, Launceston 23 and Devonport 20 and mostly sunny. That's all in weather, Lou.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, Jackie. And before we leave you tonight, we have some breaking news now from the North Pole. We can report Santa is on his way to Tasmania, bringing gifts for all the children who've been nice this year.
Santa's probably in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, heading down to head towards Australia as one of the first stops in his round the world tour tonight. And all of the team here at Air Services Australia, we're getting ready to give him a priority service, so there'll be no delays for delivering the presents to all the kids tomorrow morning. Sleigh Rider 1, you're cleared to land in Tasmania.
Santa's sleigh has plenty of sky to cover as he visits every house this evening, so make sure you get to bed nice and early and leave out a special treat for him and the reindeers to keep their energy levels up. And for all the little ones watching tonight, it's probably time now for bed with only one more sleep to go. For all the grown-ups, that's all your news for this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. McKenna Bailey will be with you tomorrow. For now, good night and have a very Merry Christmas.